Hello, YouTubers out there. This is the Boob Wasteland Show with your host, Jerry Saravia. So, today I am briefly going to talk about one particular aspect about the Academy Awards that has been overlooked and not discussed. Of course, that is the 86th Annual Academy Awards that was broadcast last Sunday, and we're now here in March 2014, and or I should say, Twitter went aflutter over John Travolta's mispronunciation of a Broadway singer's name. That's what everyone seemed to be talking about, and Ellen DeGeneres' selfie with a few actors and actresses that were nominated, particularly for the evening. So, um, but this is not really a review of the show, but more or less how one particular aspect of the show had been ignored, and that would be Steve McQueen, not the actor from back in the day, but the director, a black director for the film 12 Years a Slave. The reason I say black, of course he's black and British, but that's not the issue. The issue is that he's actually the third black director to be nominated for an Academy Award. In the entire 86 years of the Academy Awards, he is the third. The first, which I knew all along, was John Singleton, who was nominated for Boys in the Hood. That was back in 1991. The second one, which I had forgotten about, was Lee Daniels, who was nominated back in 2009 for the film Precious. So the third one is Steve McQueen for 12 Years a Slave. Now, the reason I mention this is because I would think that this is rather important, especially not just the fact that they're black, but John Singleton was the youngest person ever nominated in the category, by the way, for director. He was 24, so younger than even Orson Welles, who I believe had not been nominated for Citizen Kane, but of course I should double check that. But the fact is that what's odd about this is, okay, so Steve McQueen was nominated, and I thought for a second he was going to win at least that. I figured if 12 Years a Slave was going to win Best Picture, and it did, and by the way, I was actually delighted that it won. It's a powerful film, one of the most powerful films in quite a while that I've seen. Lupita Nyong'o did win Best Actress in a Supporting Role for 12 Years a Slave. I suppose that's not a big surprise. I didn't think 12 Years a Slave was going to win, but it did. But anyway, the point is that this is only the third black director, and he directed the film. 12 Years a Slave did not direct itself. Now, Steve McQueen did serve as producer for the film, and so he got the award for the Best Picture amongst other people, including Brad Pitt. But the thing is that it's not even just the fact that he's black. I mean, he was nominated, and his film won, but he did not win for directing the picture. Now, this has happened at the Oscars on occasion. I mean, I can think back to 1989 movies that were nominated. Oliver Stone won Best Director for Born on the 4th of July, but the film that won Best Picture that year was Driving Miss Daisy, which is, by the way, a very good movie. I'm not sure it was the Best Picture that year. I think it was really Do the Right Thing. I would have been okay between Do the Right Thing or certainly Born on the 4th. But anyway, and even, let's say, 8 years ago, roughly, Brokeback Mountain was nominated for Best Picture. Ang Lee won Best Director, but the film itself did not win. Crash won Best Picture. Now, so this is not an anomaly, but I just think it was kind of odd that it happened this way, because it used to be, in general, the other one I can think of course, now is Chicago, which won Best Picture, and Roman Polanski won Best Director for The Pianist. But by and large, though, usually the director wins. Ordinary People won Best Picture. Robert Redford won Best Director. Dances with Wolves won Best Picture. Kevin Costner won Best Director. I think also with Clint Eastwood for Unforgiven was the same thing. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. Silence of the Lambs won Best Picture. Jonathan Demme won Best Director. So for this particular film, which the Academy was very brave, I think, to give the Best Picture win to. Steve McQueen should have won for Best Director. It's just a shame. And the odd thing about all this is that what's changed in Hollywood, and it's a good thing, is that we've had more black actors and black actresses get nominated, um, and in many cases win more frequently than they used to. So, there's that. But this film in particular, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love Gone with the Wind, Glory, certainly Roots, but 12 Years a Slave. I mean, it showed things that were never really shown, not in the same way, and from the perspective of a slave, Solomon Northup. So he should have won for this. I mean, he should have. With all due respect to Gravity, which Alfonso Cuarón won Best Director, um, this film should have won. This director, rather, should have won. I mean, it's an outrage, but nobody's saying anything about that. And, since social media and the internet had been invented, it used to be that people would discuss that, the particular choices, but not so much that, just the directors, and who won and who really deserved it. And that was, instead of all this business that's trivial about whether John Travolta mispronounced the name or not, or Ellen DeGeneres and the pizza delivery guy. I mean, who the hell cares about all that? The Academy Awards, say what you will, it's a prestigious honor. And the fact that they honor this film should mean something. And the fact that the director did not win is, to me, an outrage. Again, with all due respect to Alfonso Cuarón. I mean, I would have been okay if Martin Scorsese even won Best Director for Wolf of Wall Street, but I would have still been wondering, why didn't they just give this award to this guy? I mean, it's an important film. It set new boundaries in terms of, or let's say, it did something more groundbreaking. It really did tell the story of what a slave went through in those days from that perspective, from the perspective of a slave. So he should have won, but that's just my opinion. Overall, not a bad show for those people that say, as they did on The View. As a matter of fact, Jenny McCarthy said that the show was 12 years too long. The show's, the Academy Awards, which I have watched pretty much regularly every single year. I always tell myself there's going to be a surprise, and of course there was for me. That 12 Years a Slave won, but leaving that as it may, the fact that that she said it's too long, the show. It started at 8:30 p.m. and it ended just about around midnight. And I remember when the show would start at 8, even 8:15, sometimes 8:30. This is now going way back. And would end almost 1:30 in the morning. So perhaps we're a little short-term memory on how long the Academy Awards used to be. They've gotten shorter, not longer. That's it. That's all I got to say about that. Steve McQueen should have won. That's all I could say. And this is the Boob Wasteland Show with your host, Jerry Saravia, signing off.